guys all about? What's up with My Chemical Romance? Do you guys have something special that you're bringing to Hellfest, some sort of message that you want kids to know about, anything like that?
Oh man,
we're here to save kids' lives.
Yeah.
What are you doing to save kids' lives?
Bringing a message.
The message being save kids' lives?
It's a rock and roll exorcism, dude.
A rock and roll exorcism?
Yes.
Nice.
But I don't really feel that we're a part of the emo culture, and I never have, which is, and to further go with that, I think My Chemical Romance is just a rock band. I think there's a lot of garbage that gets associated with us. That's emo. We were the furthest thing from emo when we started. We couldn't even get booked on concerts because we didn't look like them, we didn't sound like them, we didn't act like them, and so we would actually tour with Christian metal bands. We're the only guys that would take us out in the beginning, and indie rock bands. So I actually don't think emo has affected the culture in the way that grunge has. I think Nirvana specifically affected the culture by really bringing punk rock, or what he thought was punk rock growing up on it, to the world, you know, and his interpretation of what punk was. And I guess what we're bringing to the world is our interpretation of what rock is, you know. So it's a weird thing.
It's something that the youth culture embraces. You need to pay attention to because there's a reason that they're embracing it, especially something as dark as us. I'd spend most of my time in the back of the class just drawing. My goal was to not get noticed in school, you know, because I'd spent so long not being noticed anyway, or being treated as if I was invisible, that I started to like it. I've learned that it's actually not very lonely. You know, it's like you have less friends, but the friends you have count more. I mean, I know people that aren't outsiders or very popular, and they have a lot of friends, but I don't know if they're the kind of friends you call up at 3 a.m. to help you out, or to talk about being depressed. You know, my dad, he was a real man, like what I thought a real man was, which is he wasn't a womanizer. He worked real hard to support his family. He wasn't flashy. He was a working class guy that loved his kids and loved his wife, and he never tried to be a big shot, and he never tried to show off, and he let other people do that. I detested nu metal. I thought it kind of set us back to the Stone Age as far as rock's concerned. I'm not trying to generalize about it too much, but of the bands that kind of led that thing, and I won't name them, it seemed to me that they encouraged sexism and homophobia and other forms of ignorance, and their music wasn't any good. So, it's like you gave a bunch of Neanderthals a microphone for like 8 years, and everybody had to deal with it. I think we've made a band that I would have listened to in high school or in art school or in college, and I think that's why we've drawn so many outsiders. It's like a band made for who I was in school, and I think all these kids that come out are just like me when I was in school. I meet a lot of kids that tell me they met their best friend at a My Chem show, and that's awesome. That's like actually one of the best compliments I think I've ever gotten, is that a kid says that. And so I think, all right, well, these kids probably didn't go to school together. They're probably from towns away or states away. If they met, they're kind of like their buddy and the person that'll listen to them, because they couldn't find that in their school because they were outsiders. I think there's a lot of outsiders. You could fit them in some pretty big rooms. We played a show, and there was a girl right up front, and I could see literally from where I was standing that she had, you know, these lacerations up and down her arms, some pretty brutal ones. And I saw that, and I said to myself, well, is this our fault? Does she think that she needs to do that to come to this show? Has it gotten so big to the point that people are now misconstruing it and passing along notions of self-harm? So I took that personally, and I felt very responsible for that. So whenever something like that happens that I feel I have to say, I'll say it. You know, we've been around a lot of homophobia, a lot of sexism, a lot of racism in the punk community and rock community, and we've said things on stage to get rid of that, you know what I mean, or to at least get it out of our shows. If we ever become bloated and corrupt, I think one of these kids or any other kid should start a band to take us out through then saying what they want to say.